All right, so quick music shout out, right? Because as I've started doing ever since the whole rebrand to BBB Radio. Sorry, I just take the time every episode as best as I can, to shed a light on a particular artist that I've covered as far as my Fiverr gig goes, right? So this artist in particular would be CW France, right? This is a Chicago multi-instrumentalist. He's a producer, singer-songwriter. He's a poet. He's usually involved in like new age music, but ever so often he just kind of branches out and experiments with different genres, like say jazz or I don't want to say chill wave, but more blues or more like Americana kind of music, basically, right? So uh, I was exposed to his music actually. He actually reached out to me last year with the release of his album CW France 2, right? So what he does basically is that he just makes like just like a bunch of music, and he records it and stuff, and then like when he feels like it he just kind of puts it out, like one at a time now. So like if you go on his Bandcamp right now, I know that he's kind of just making a slow transition to Spotify. He has like a lot of projects on his belt, right? And a majority of those are like instrumental based, right? So but ever so often he'll have projects where he does singing, right? And he has this sort of like whispery voice when it comes to his singing. I just kind of adds this sort of relaxed vibe to what's going on. Because yeah, basically it's instrumentals is just kind of, it's more like easy listening instrumentals, right? Kind of music that you listen to, be like just to use those YouTube videos that you see, beats to listen to while studying. It's that kind of vibe basically, right? But what he
Lo-fi.
does, yeah, lo-fi, like, yeah, exactly, right? But is the musical experimentation that he does with different genres and moods and all that kind of stuff. It just kind of transcends from just some simple lo-fi beat that you just kind of listen to get you in the mood, right? So anyway, right? So this year I was fortunate enough to listen to, or I should say review, not one but four projects that he put out, right? So just running through them quickly. All of them I totally recommend, right? So the first one being Peloponnesian Grove. This was one that he put out earlier this year. This one has a more, sort of modern, sort of, urban kind of vibe to things. You know what I mean? It actually is inspired, because that's one thing about him. He's usually inspired from, his memories, his experiences. So in this case, it's based off of his years at the George Washington University in Washington, D.C., right? So it has sort of the feel of just hearing like different musical genres or just different moods and different feelings. You know what I mean? Like like when you're in university, just the stuff that you go through, and like this album kind of just encapsulates all that kind of stuff, whether it's just having fun or just being out with friends or just being someplace that you've never been before, just bask in the beauty of it, or reflections on life and love and all that kind of stuff, right? So he just kind of captures all that in this album, right? But the great thing about this album in particular here is that you don't even need to think about what does this song mean, or like what does the inclusion of this instrument mean. I mean, because case in point, he regularly uses like non-American instruments. Like he will bring in something from like say Japan or something like that, or India or something like that, right? And just work it into these beats, right? But yeah, you don't have to like overthink what's going on and what the bigger meaning of it all is. It's just stuff to just kick back and relax to, and pretty much immerse yourself into. Yeah, this is some very immersive music. You just really find yourself like each track. I would say so for all the tracks in these albums are gonna be talking about here, and a particular single which I'll get into in a bit, right? Yeah, they just kind of put you in this particular zone. You know what I mean? And you're just like immersed in it for the duration that the track runs for, right? So yeah, highly recommend Peloponnesian Grove. Also, there's a track should I Seal. This was just a single that he just put out. Just put out on its own, right? This one he actually does some singing here. This is more of a sort of a reflective track, just basically just talking about this long distance relationship that didn't really quite work out in a sense. So he's kind of comparing it to the whole idea of should I seal? So the idea is, should I just stay on this pier and just wait for this person to come back, or should I just jump on this boat and just go and find this person? But at what cost now? You know what I mean? It's very, nice and calm and laid back and all that kind of stuff. And he does sing as well, and the lyrics themselves are very not entirely cryptic, but there's like a lot of layers to what's being said. It seems simple, but there's a lot of stuff going on. And he also loves to keep things very personal as well. Like he's not gonna tell you everything that happened or who the person is, but just this was how I felt and this is how I still feel right
Right.
now. This is the burden I have to bear and my heart and soul and all that jazz, right? So should I sail? That's also we're checking out, right? So two more to go. We have five piano improvisations, right? This is pretty much self-explanatory. This was recorded in 2018. He was at this Illinois University, and he had access to this lounge piano. So what he did basically was just play these chords basically, right? And he just invited a bunch, just like some fellow musicians, and they just pretty much just crafted these songs off of like what he's playing on the piano. So he would just play like a certain melody, and everybody else would just kind of bounce off of it and just create something out of it. So
Right.
um, yeah, it's five tracks. It's short, it's sweet, it's to the point. And yes, they're very immersive, and it has this sort of very, it's very, very moody, you know what I mean? Just very deep, you know what I mean? It's very downbeat at times, actually, though, but it works in terms of like what they're going for. So, very, very concise and to the point, and, really worth checking out, though. But the one I really want to shine a light on is one that I've actually listened to a few days ago, and that would be CW France Tree, right? This was something that like he just kind of just threw this on my lap, right? And I had no idea what to expect from it, and what it is though is it's pretty much a love letter basically to the traditional American restaurant, right? And I
Okay.
know it sounds weird and all that kind of stuff, but how he frames it basically is that
What's the name of that famous painter? Night. Something he mentioned that night owls. Some famous painter.
Night House.
Gosh, night. Because it's slipping my mind right now. Yeah, famous American painter restaurant.
Okay. Oh,
Night.
I know you're talking about. I know you're talking about. That sort of it looks nourish. It looks very
Yeah.
nourish with the neon lights. I know you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, it's like a diner. It's like a diner. It's
Yeah.
at night, right? I know what you're talking about. I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I don't know the name of that painting though. I really should look into that. Well, yeah. And speaking of paintings, he usually uses like these abstract paintings
Night Hawk. Night,
as night what
Night Hawks. That's him.
night
I was great.
forks.
No, Night Hawks.
Oh, Nighthawks. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay. Nighthawks.
I was saying Night Owls, but it's probably Night. Name it is Night Hawks.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay, okay. All right. Well, thanks for telling me what that was though. But
Well, I
yeah,
just get it. So you might be referencing that in some way. No? Like that, stuff like that will come up in a lyric.
okay. Huh, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, basically what it is though is, and you're just thinking, all right, this is about the restaurant. Well, all right, but he just frames it in such a way, just from the opening track though, that it's one of like many restaurants, because well, how the album plays out is that he will just mention like each track is like about a certain a restaurant or a diner or a bakery that he frequented. I mean, he met someone there, they had conversations there, maybe fell in love with someone there, and things didn't play out like that. But how he frames it though is that those places are closed, unfortunately, indefinitely,
Right.
sorry, because of COVID-19. And he drops this fact that over 11,000 restaurants in the United States were closed because of COVID-19, and those were places that were established for like decades, and now they're closed, you know what I mean? And have no idea what's gonna happen next. As I'm talking about this, I just want to bring up quickly, this popular restaurant in Trinidad called Trotters actually
Right.
closed indefinitely, because of the same reasons too, because they were trying to do the whole outdoor, curbside thing, and it just wasn't working. So it's like, well,
Yeah. Right. What they showed bunches. Showed
right.
that get closer thing, and then where is the other place? The place that people used to go to all the time. I know they go back up, but they close. That was early on. I call it by. It's a restaurant. I forget the name. Drink,
Oh gosh.
drink, drink.
Yes, drink. Oh
Yeah.
my God, drink. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, drink,
Yeah.
that Just basically like this lounge place basically. Yeah, yeah. They've been closed for like, for
Yeah.
roughly about a year plus, you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean that is a serious reality, and I mean it just impact everyone. I mean that not just in the United States, not just in Trinidad, but the world over, right? And we still seen it, right? So yeah, this album was just like a dedication to that, you know what I mean? But it's not like every single song is about just addressing why these places are closed, but it's all about like the memories that he had there. But he would just kind of remind people that so often, yeah, these places are gone, just like the people that are part of those memories are gone as well, and one line to you by Ricardo, it get to me, it really, really got to me, boy. I didn't expect that an album about restaurants that I've never been to would have really hit me the way it did, though, because it was just so emotionally charged. Like you felt it, right? That album in particular is very Americana. It has inflections of blues and country music and jazz as well too. Well, not so much jazz, but more blues and country, right? But yeah, though, that one really got to me. I will say one time, it is one of my favorite albums of the year, hands down, and it's really one that I strongly recommend you check out though. So yeah, those are four projects. Well, I should say three projects and a single that I've covered from CW France. This guy is just really, really talented though, and just how he's just able to just incorporate all these different instruments and then just be personal and real in terms of memories and feelings and all that kind of stuff. It just kind of puts himself out there, right? And like you don't really have to kind of like analyze everything that's being said or everything that's being heard, but you just know that it's a feeling that he's trying to express, and you just get that with these songs here. But yeah, I mean, those four in particular, well, I should say those three albums, or I should say two albums, an EP and a single, I highly recommend though. But yeah, I mean, that CW France 3 though, if it's one that I recommend that you really, really check out, it's that one. But I'd recommend checking out the other three and
Right.
the other projects that he has on Bandcamp and hopefully on Spotify. Yeah, this guy has been like just putting in work for like years now, and I really think that more people should be aware of his music and stuff. So yeah, not much more I could say. Highly recommend checking out CW Franz's music. I'll put the link to his Bandcamp in the description, as well as well, I'll also recommend that you look him up on Spotify as well. I'll also put my reviews for all those four projects in the description as well. And yeah, that's it.